This was my first fix and flip. So embarking on this new category of real estate had some risk to it. And that brings me to the questions that I think most people who are interested in doing a flip would ask. How much does it cost? And what kind of profits can I make? So let's go through the numbers. Here is my total profit to the cent on the flip of the blue bungalow. Let's review. I purchased this bungalow for $30,100. It's a 3-bed, 1-bath ranch with just under 900 square feet of living space. My wonderful contractor, Jamie, estimated a renovation budget of about $40,000 and a 2-month timeline to completion. To purchase the bungalow, I pulled $75,000 of equity from my first house, which is now a rental property. I closed on the bungalow about 2 weeks from the first day I saw it. At the almost 2-month timeline, we were almost finished. Here's what was done so far. Right after closing, Jamie and his team did a complete tear-off and replacement of the roof in 1 day. That was the first partial payment I made on the renovation of the house for $7,500. With Jamie's help, I chose the colors for the exterior, my favorite color blue for the siding, and a yellow door. I ended up picking a different yellow for the front door later and having it repainted, and I like that much better. Because the utilities had been off for so long, I had to have an electrician come in to do the work to even be able to reconnect service. That was an unexpected cost of $2,450. They also had to come back for another $170 later to take care of some of the wiring issues due to deterioration. The gas and water companies also had to come out to inspect the home and ensure it was safe to restart those services. Jamie's team went through and removed all the items from inside the house and also removed items from the yard and the shed so that the shed could be demolished. They cut back a bunch of foliage in the backyard to reveal a pretty nice sized lot. They gutted the kitchen and the bathroom and did drywall and ceiling repairs throughout the house. I purchased some materials myself, primarily from Home Depot and Menards, and would set it for Jamie to pick up. I picked out a new tub and shower, vanity, mirror, all the pieces needed in a bathroom. I also bought new lower kitchen cabinets, a water heater, and all new appliances. I picked the color oatmeal for the interior walls, as well as a beautiful luxury vinyl plank to go throughout the whole house. I chose lighting, new interior doors, and all sorts of finishes and fixtures. An expense that was not accounted for in the initial renovation estimate was a new HVAC system. I had an HVAC company come out to do that, which added an additional $5,900 to the total renovation budget, but it was well worth it so that the buyer would be comfortable in their new home. As we near completion, I wanted some outside eyes on the progress. So I called my friend, Dr. Tendai Chouare, and asked if I could get her opinion on it via video. She's a practicing physician with an interest in real estate, and we actually talked about partnering on something but hadn't found the right thing yet. But I really wanted to know what she thought about it. So I asked her if I could record our conversation so I could have documented her raw reaction to her first time look at the bungalow. She said absolutely I could. So pardon my recording skills on this part. I had no idea what I was doing. I just wanted to make sure that I captured our conversation. Here's some of how that went.
Hey. Okay, so you got my pictures. You saw what it looked like at first. There were tires in here. There was a small fire. Everything was a disaster. I just want to get your feelings on what they've done so far. So they're not done yet.
Oh my God, that flooring looks amazing.
Doesn't it? It's like a different house. You remember there was the ceiling was gone there and all that stuff?
Oh wow, yeah.
Right.
What would you say if I bought it? Because I want to get into real estate, and I'm looking for something to rent out.
I would love that.
You would?
I would. I couldn't. That's best case scenario. What?
God already knew. He already had it set up that I would know the seller and the buyer and be able to serve as the realtor for all of us. There were so many benefits to Tendai being the purchaser of the property. I didn't have to list the property in the MLS and have showings and wait for a buyer. I could add details that Tendai wanted in the house and customize it some for her. And she was able to get her first rental property. I was able to do my first flip. She and I already had a relationship built on trust, and essentially we were partnering on our first deal together, like we wanted to all along. I could not have thought this up better myself if I tried. So now it was time to prepare for the sale. I did a market analysis to determine what my price would be for the bungalow. I calculated a sale price of $125,000 for the renovated version of the bungalow. My goal was to be spot on, not too high, not too low, because something I often say is, I don't need every dime and dollar. What's more important to me is being fair and equitable and being regarded as a person of high integrity. So the buyer, being my friend, had no impact on the way I handled the transaction. I handled it with the same level of care I would give my real estate clients. So I wrote up the contract for us and we both signed it and set the closing for 4 weeks later with the goal of closing sooner. We had the property inspected by an unrelated third-party inspector and we corrected anything that came up. Most of the findings were already on my contractor's list, so he took care of those promptly. Tendai used a lender I really appreciate. He owns his own lending business and he takes great personal care with every transaction. She and I both live in different states from each other and from the property, so we would need a property manager to manage her rental. I was able to refer the property manager I use on my properties that are in that area, and he got onboarded pretty quickly. The appraisal came back at the exact amount I offered as the purchase price, $125,000. While we waited for lending and title to go through their processes, she and I met via Zoom so that I could answer any questions she had and give her as much information as she wanted on owning rental property. We talked about tenants, setting rental prices, planning for future rental property purchases, the lending and title processes, really anything and everything that relates to real estate. And Tendai had really good questions that helped me become a more effective teacher on real estate. It made the process so fun and inspiring to go through. Closing did not take the full 4 weeks at all. We actually closed just over 2 weeks from the day we signed the purchase contract. I signed remotely in one state, she signed remotely in another state, and the property sat comfortably in yet another state, totally refreshed and renovated. Tendai has actually never seen the property in person yet, but when you know, you know. It really warmed my heart to get her FaceTime call with her in her scrubs while she's on break at work. She was able to close on her first rental in a few minutes without even leaving her workplace. We traded a few excited screeches and tears, and she went back to her patients. Shortly after closing, I flew back to see the final product of the house, make some final payments to my contractor, Jamie, and to give the property manager the keys to the house. And guess who I saw as I was getting in my car to leave the house? A family came to meet the property manager to tour the blue bungalow, and they ended up being the family who would live there. Every single thing in the process was intentional. So I love real estate. In fact, more of my net worth and wealth is in real estate than in any other category like investments, cash, savings, business ownership, etc. I started buying property when I was 21 years old, and I've been in the game for about 14 years. Prior to the bungalow, all of my properties were buy and hold. This was my first fix and flip. So embarking on this new category of real estate had some risks to it. And that brings me to the questions that I think most people who are interested in doing a flip would ask. How much does it cost? And what kind of profits can I make? So let's go through the numbers. I'll start with the sale price and list out every expense associated with the process. I'm including every single little thing, because sometimes people inflate numbers intentionally or unintentionally by not listing out all of the costs. So we'll start with the important big picture numbers and then break it down from there. I purchased the bungalow for $30,100. I borrowed $75,000 of equity from my first house to cover the purchase price and the $40,000 estimated renovation budget. I sold the property for $125,000 2 months and 1 week after I purchased it. Now for the breakdown. These numbers are rounded to the nearest $5. Working backwards from the sale price of $125,000, the initial purchase price of the house before renovations was $30,100. There were loan and settlement costs associated with all parts of buying and selling the property. There was pulling the equity from another house to purchase the bungalow. Then there was the actual purchase of the bungalow on the same day. And then there was the subsequent sale of the bungalow. The total of all the loan and settlement costs for the 3 portions of this process was about $9,200. The highest cost was associated with pulling the equity from another house. The lowest of the 3 portions was the closing cost associated with me purchasing the bungalow initially, because it was essentially a cash purchase. The loan used to pull the equity was at a 12% interest rate, which meant that each month I paid 1% of the amount borrowed. In this case, that would be $750 a month interest only. These types of loans must be paid off within 6 months, and there's a minimum number of payments you must make, even if you're able to sell the house faster than those payments are due. This portion was an expense of $1,500. The total labor cost for the portions of the remodel done by my contractor Jamie was $24,500, which includes the $7,500 for the roof replacement. I also reimbursed him an additional $3,275 for materials that he purchased on my behalf while I wasn't present in the state. The cost to hire a licensed and bonded electrician to do the work necessary to restart electric service was a total of $2,620. The cost to have an HVAC specialist replace the entire HVAC system was $5,900. The appliances I purchased for the house were a fridge, range hood, and stackable washer and dryer for a total of $2,190. The total cost of the materials I purchased from Home Depot was $1,195, with the largest portion of that cost being for the lower cabinets in the kitchen. I spent $4,865 at Menards for materials for everything from flooring, the bathroom, the kitchen, except the cabinets, water heater, and so on. I initially thought their rebate program was cash, but it's actually Menards cash, which is fine because I can use it on other properties. The rebate amount was $510. I spent $85 on Amazon for a few different items. The type of insurance I had on the property was a policy that I could add and remove multiple properties for flips as I went along. And I didn't end up keeping the policy after the sale though, because I didn't have another flip ready. But the cost of the insurance while owning the house was $325. The electric bill was pretty low because it wasn't on during the whole process, and I actually got my final bill about 3 months after selling the property. The cost was a total of $80. The house needed gas service, which was inspected by the gas company to ensure there were no leaks before they restarted the service. The cost for the gas while I held the property was $180. The water pipes had to be inspected for leaks as well before restarting services, and the total cost for water service was $190. I got a letter from the city about trash service, which for some reason I forgot about. I forgot it was a separate bill. Anyways, that total was $80. I opened a business bank account for the LLC that I bought the house in. I put $5 in to start it up, and I paid $10 for check fees to have checks issued to my contractor Jamie, for a total of $15 for bank-related costs. The seller I initially purchased the bungalow from preferred paper documents during the purchase process, so the FedEx expense for printing, scanning, and mailing was $85. Since I was the realtor for both transactions, I didn't have to pay realtor fees, but I did place a nominal commission on each transaction so that I could utilize my brokerage. The commission paid to me was a total of $130. So factoring in all this, here is my total profit to the cent on the flip of the blue bungalow, $38,789.18. Not bad at all. And if we add the Menards rebate of $510.16, the total profit is $39,299.34. Overall, I was really happy with my profit margins on this. It was my first flip and a project that was near and dear to my heart, and it was a blessing all around. So let's go back to where we started. Here's the before. And next, I'll show you the finished product. Well, almost finished because I took this footage when they were still finishing the final details. Take a look. 10 out of 10, I would do this again. It was fun, it was educational, it was a benefit to all parties, and it was a reminder of the goodness of God. In the first video of this real estate series, I said that God wasn't done yet after I purchased property number 6, and He wasn't. As of the time of this recording in 2025, I've now closed on my 7th property overall. It is my 6th buy and hold since I sold property number 5, which was this blue bungalow, but my 7th overall property purchase. So if you have an interest in real estate, wealth building, or if you just love to see God do His thing and take our little and make it much, stay tuned. There's more to come. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.